Tonight, Narada Muni once more, he sits at the feet of Bhagavan Vishnu and Narada is inquiring. He wants to know. Have you ever been in the company of a person who always inquires, always wants to know? Mothers and fathers, they're faced with a problem. And the problem is, and every mother and father, they're faced with the very same problem. It is not unique to any one mother or one father. They will ask the children a question 100 times and they will never get a reply. The same question they'll ask over and over and over, and the children think that when mother and father they ask the question, they're nagging them. So the children become frustrated and the parents become frustrated, and it is a whole frustrating scenario unfolding. Mother and father, you must tell your children about when they were younger. And when they ask you the same question 100 times and you answer the very same question. And they didn't ask you in intervals, like you will ask your children today and tomorrow and the day after. They ask you consecutively for 100 times. What is this? What is that? And you answered every time they ask. Then why now, when you ask a question, it is difficult for them to reciprocate the very same that you have done for them? Have you given thought to that? The little child asks all the time. One question 1,000,000 times the child will ask. One question 1,000,000 times. I had the privilege of being in the company of Mikhail when he was growing. And I took him to the mall and he went to the toy shop. And if you know me, you will know that I will not have a limit. Take whatever it is you want. But he took up this train set that was so expensive that I could not afford. And I looked at him and I said, no, you can't have this. One of the girls in the store said to him, well, this is for girls. Another boy in the store said to him, no, that is for boys. I said to him, maybe that is for ladies. He looks at me, he said, I think I know. This is for men's. And he placed it back. That memory of that episode never fails to make me laugh. And so too along the journey of your children's life, there are many things that they did that every time you think back about it, it never fails to make you laugh and smile and to reminisce on what they were to what they are now. And so Narada Muni sits there at the feet of Bhagavan Vishnu and Narada Muni says, tell me, there seems to be two deities that possesses the disposition of animals. Lord Ganesh having the elephant head and Lord Hanuman having the face of the monkey. Then tell me, has there ever been a time when Lord Ganesh and Lord Hanuman, they met with each other? I want to know, has there ever been a time when they met with each other? And what were the circumstances surrounding their meeting? Along the journey of life, certain things unfold. Certain situations and circumstances unfold around us so that we could meet with different people. Some of the people we wish we would have met them a long time ago. And some of the people we wish we could erase the day that we met them. We wish that we could erase that minute that we spoke to them and communed with them. So Narada asking the question, Bhagavan Vishnu begins to think. How will I know answer? Have you ever been asked a question and you're forced to go into thinking? There is no other option, but now you have to begin to think about how you will answer. And so Bhagavan Vishnu thinking, what will he say? Listen, tonight, our Katha does not only take us into the Ganesh Purana, it takes us into the Ram Charitramanas. And tonight, it is as though we are not only listening to the Katha of Lord Ganesh. Tonight is as though we are listening to the Ramayana Katha. How will it say to us? Ramayana Katha humko pyar pyara, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा, ओ रामायण कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा। धन्य हो रामायण महात्म जी को, धन्य हो रामायण महात्म जी को, पुत्री से पुत्र बनाया हमारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा, ओ रामायण कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा। Last night I said to you that when we listen to the glories of Lord Ganesh becomes happy when we sing the praises of Bhagwan Vishnu as well. Lord Ganesh becomes elated when we expound on the glories of Bhagwan Vishnu and his different avatars. For the Ishta Devata, when Lord Ganesh prays, he prays to Bhagwan Krishna. It is one of the sole reasons why Ganesh Chaturthi ends with the beginning of Pitra Paksha, time dedicated to Bhagwan Vishnu. It is one of the sole reasons why these two periods, they strategically placed next to each other. For the Ganesh Chaturthi ends with the beginning of the worship of Bhagwan Vishnu. And that's why Pitra Paksha comes on the day the Ganesh Chaturthi will come to an end. What will the Katha say? पिता पुत्र का प्रेम दिखलाए, पिता पुत्र का प्रेम दिखलाए, साक्षी है राम भगवान हमारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा, ओ रामायण कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा। साक्षी है लक्ष्मण भरता हमारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा, ओ रामायण कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा। पतिव्रत धर्म रामायण बदलाए, पतिव्रत धर्म रामायण बदलाए, साक्षी है अनसुया और सीता हमारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा, ओ रामायण कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा, रामायण कथा सबको प्यारा। Bhagwan Vishnu says, in order to understand O Narada, I must take you into another katha. And so there was a great meeting of all devatas, and there was a great meeting of all the divine noble souls, and this meeting was taking place in the abode of Guru Brihaspati. The Guru of the devatas invited all devatas to come to his home. Have you ever been invited by the Pundit to his home? What is that experience like? You left outside under a tree Are you left in a garage? Where will he accommodate you? Are you left in a tent outside? Why you are looking at me? The Guru prepared a divine setting. And so he invited all the devatas to come. We prepared a divine setting. Actually, you prepared a divine setting, not we. And so preparing this divine setting, we wanted to invite Lord Ganesh and all the devatas to come and to be happy. So to Guru Brihaspati invited all the devatas, and so they dressed and they went. Being placed in a particular location to sit. I wonder if there was COVID and they had to sit 6. One day, we were sitting right here and making the joke that we have to sit 6 feet apart from each other. But then where is Lord Shiva sitting from Mother Durga? Should we move them from apart from each other? Tonight, Guru Brihaspati strategically placed all the devatas to sit in their particular places. Sometimes we have to sit and figure and try to analyze. What really is my space and what really is my position? What position I hold? What is required of me? Am I sitting in my position? Am I fulfilling the obligations of the position in which I am sitting? You have to ask yourself. And all devatas sitting there, it says the Gandharvas, the musicians came to entertain the devatas. When we have gas, when we're doing the checklist says table, chair, food, entertainment, decoration. Decoration comes after. We could have the function without decoration. But table, chair, accommodation, food, something to eat, and then anything else after that. As the devatas came and they sat, the Gandharvas played celestial music. Celestial music. Meaning that the music was very soulful. And so the devatas enjoyed each other's company and they enjoyed the company of the Guru. And so they were about to leave. But before they were about to leave, they all bowed their head to pray. While praying, everybody in deep meditation, one of the musicians couldn't wait to leave. So he decided to sneak out. Ever went to prayers or a worship or something and you can't stay for the entire thing? So you say, well, I'll go and I'll leave after 1 hour. Whether where the puja reach or whether where, what happens? After 1 hour I would leave. And the time you're about to leave is the closing prayer time. You should never leave at that time. Actually, you should never leave while the prayers is taking place. You should never leave. That is disrespectful. Not to the beings who invited you, but to God. And so, sneaking out as it were, he tripped on the foot of Durvasa. Durvasa Rishi was known for his disposition. And his disposition was anger. You know anybody who angry all the time? Vex at everything? Every single thing makes them angry. Durvasa was like this. He was designed like that. Durvasa was so angry that he even threatened to put a sharp on Sri Ram, who is Bhagwan Vishnu, and he knew it was Lord Vishnu. Such is the arrogance of Durvasa. And as the Gandharva tripped on the foot of Durvasa, Durvasa had no problem with interrupting the whole prayers and disturbing everybody. Do you know there are some people, they could do anything and everything quietly and nobody will know. And do you know there are some people, they just have to make an uproar all the time. Everything about them is chaos. Everything about them is a show and clamor, everything. Just confusion all the time. Durvasa very loudly started to abuse the Gandharva. Ever went to a function and everybody is quiet and somebody's phone rings and they answer. I can't talk to you now. Call me back. I'm in a function. And everybody turned and watched that person. And then the person who that person is talking to, though they spoke loudly, didn't hear. I say I go call you back later. And then they hang up the phone. Have you ever experienced that, people? I can't talk to you now, Aina Puja. Well, I go call you back. The prayers now start. Well, let me go outside and I go talk to you. And that person go outside and better did it stay inside. Because you're still hearing everything from outside. So loud. Durvasa loudly created an uproar. Immediately the prayers was stopped and everybody's attention was on Durvasa. You are sneaking out of the worship like a little rat. Then today I put a sharp curse on you. O Gandharva, may you be transformed into that of a rat, into that of emotion. Having this vardhan, he started to cry and he started to beg. Hame paari karo, hame paari karo, bhav sagar mere naiya prabhu paari karo. Begging for forgiveness, the time was too late. Ever acted or reacted or quarreled or said something that you wish you didn't say? That you wish that you had just taken the time to just relax and then talk? Or ever happen? It happens to all of us. We can't undo what we have already done. An intelligent mind and a pure heart knows how to say, well, I was wrong, I'm sorry. The egoistic mind says, it's good for you. You look for that. I should have told him more. And that's how the ego in us behaves. Begging, please take away this vardhan. I do not want to be a mouse. Durvasa could not take it back. And so Durvasa says, well then, become the Vahan, the vehicle of Lord Ganesh. The name of that Gandharva, his name was Crouch. Crouch, like the couch that you're sitting on. Crouch. And so Crouch, now having the disposition of a mouse, of a rat, what will Crouch use his new form to do? What will he do with his new form? The man who constantly drinks the rum. He falls sick, goes into the hospital, and the doctor says, if you go back out and you drink again, chances are you'll die. You need to stop drinking. No more drinking, you will die. He said, well, I take one now and then. I don't drink, I just drink now and then. One girl looked at me and alcoholic, and I said to her, when will you stop drinking? She said, what is wrong with you, Pundit? I said, how? What do you mean? She said, you want me to get dehydrated? Why will I stop drinking? What kind of advice are you giving me? You want me to die? And so I looked at her, I said, one of the only ways that you will ever overcome alcoholism is you have to admit that you're an alcoholic. And so you have to stop drinking alcohol, drink juice and drink water and be hydrated. She said, don't you know, Pundit? You think you're alone spiritual? I'm highly spiritual. I only drink spirits. I looked at her and I said, the choice is yours. My advice to you is, change your ways before it is too late. But we can only advise. We don't know people's situation and their troubles and the things that force them into what they are. We don't know. So we can't judge. Crouch, now having the body of the mouse, Lord Ganesh sits on the mouse. What will he do? There is a time when Crouch is free and has nothing to do. You see, when there is an idle time and nothing to do, we find all kind of mischief to make. And the mind begins to run idly here, there and everywhere. And so we land ourselves in trouble. By extension, we land others in trouble as well. Crouch, he has some free time. What will he do? Listen. The Ganesh Puran says, Crouch is leaving the abode of Lord Ganesh. And where is he going? Listen. Yaha kah rakshas kamal hadari ek din moshak ganapati dari jai ganata jai Shri Ganesha jai Ganata Nata jai Shri Ganesha. जिसका हरे कर बिन पर कोई पासय भूत बिन का सोई जय श्री गणेश जय श्री गणेशा जय श्री गणेशा ईशा जय श्री गणेशा. Quickly, he leaves. He has free time. And he makes his way down on the earth. And who is he meeting with? Who is he meeting with? Shankar Suvan Kesari Nandan Tej Pratap Mahajagvandan Shankar Suvan Kesari Nandan Tej Pratap Mahajagvandan Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Siya Ram Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Siya Ram. And the being that he goes to meet with the mouse, he goes to meet with Lord Hanuman. Sitting in the company of Lord Hanuman, the Mosha puts his 2 foot together as though he is saluting Lord Hanuman. But putting his 2 foot together, the Mosha begins to speak, he begins to talk. Then tell me, how will the rat talk? In his previous birth, he was a Gandharva. In his previous birth, he had the ability to speak. Tell me, how is he speaking as a mouse, a rat? Ever noticed the way the animals react? The fish in the aquarium knows exactly who you are. From the time the fish see you in a distance coming, the fish knows food. Automatically the fish knows, and the fish knows the person who will feed the food. Because the reaction to that person will be different to anybody else who goes to the aquarium. Have you ever tried that before? You have to be feeding the fish to know what I'm talking about. Look at the reaction of the parrots. The person who will feed the parrot and show the love, from a distance the parrot. The parrot so know that if he depend on anybody else in the house, he dead. So the parrot knows automatically, Ma are hungry. Ma are hungry. Because the parrot knows that when the children say, Ma, I'm hungry, they get food. So if I say, Ma, I'm hungry, I will get food. See how intelligent the parrot is? So intelligent the parrot is. He goes and he puts as though he's putting his 2 foot together and clasping them. And he looks at Lord Hanuman. And looking at Lord Hanuman, he begins to speak of Shri Ram. Oh Hanuman, let me introduce myself to you. I am the mouse upon which Lord Ganesh sits. You are close to Ram and I am close to Lord Ganesh. Who are you close to? Who are we close to? Who do we get close to? Who should we get close to? Little girl meets a little boy and you know what happened? The minute mother say come off the phone, well mother crazy. The minute father say give me that phone, go to sleep. Now is not a time for boy, now is a time for book. The little girl say, well you don't know what you're talking about because I'm in love. Isn't it? And then the same little boy you're in love with decides to love somebody else. And the same mother and father who she didn't listen to is the same mother and father she have to go and hug up on. Because they're the true people, the true beings who we can depend on all the time. Whether who is in our life or who is out of our life or whether what happens, they're the ones that we have to depend on. But it takes the experience to make us wise. It takes the experience to wake us up. It takes the experience to tell us, well listen, the next time around it is going to be different. Because I am going to be prepared. And those things are geared not because God hates you, but to prepare you for the future. He says, I am close to Lord Ganesh and you are close to Shri Ram. But don't you know? Lord Ganesh one day while sitting on me, Lord Ganesh, he was speaking about Shri Ram. And he had absolutely nothing good to say. He had absolutely nothing good to say about Shiva. Listen to what the mouse is saying. Somebody ever came to you and said what somebody else said to them about you? You're here. If I tell you the whole story, I want to tell you, and I'm saying this with no apology, a listening ear is a running mouth. An intelligent mind keeps a still tongue. He doesn't talk about himself or anybody else. He keeps calm all the time. He has to be intelligent. I don't know how intelligent I am. Ask yourself how intelligent you are. I have not mastered that as yet. I say what I have to say and then I move on from that point. I'm not angry, I'm not vexed. I don't hold anything in mind again. And I'm saying again, because I have reached to that point where now I have learned to let go and move forward. Lord Hanuman, hearing this, Lord Hanuman says, well then tell me, what did Lord Ganesh say? I want to know. And the mouse is saying, well, it's so much, I don't know what to tell you. Hanuman says, well then, no problem. You can't tell me. Then I will go to Lord Ganesh and he will tell me himself. The mouse begins to tremble and he says, please, I'm begging you, don't say I say. Have you ever been in that situation? Don't say I say. I'm telling you, but you have to promise that you will keep it as a secret. You can't tell nobody I tell you, because I'll get in trouble. Anytime you know you're going to get in trouble, M-Y-O-B. You know what I mean? Have you ever heard that before, Harry? M-Y-O-B. Lord Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram. Lord Hanuman immediately flies up and entering into the realm of the Devatas, standing face to face with Lord Ganesh. Lord Hanuman puts his hands together and he says, victory to you, O Lord Ganesh. Victory to you, O Lord Ganesh. I have come here. I want to know. I have listened and I have heard that you have been eulogizing my Ram, the Ram whom I love. I heard that in your eulogy you had nothing good to say. Then, O Lord Ganesh, tell me for yourself. Tell me. I want to hear. Ever went to a funeral and hear the dead man is a bad man? Actually, the best man you'll ever find is a dead man. The minute you're dead, you become so good, you're better than sliced bread. So good. Everybody only have good thing to say about you. And oh God, how he dead. While you're living, you can't get a cup of water from them. While you're living, you can't get a 25 cents, The minute you're dead, everybody's scrubbing you down in the funeral home. And while you're living, you can't even lift your hand to wash your own self. They put you in a home and they lock you up and nobody cares. Lord Ganesh looks at Lord Hanuman and he says, I'm confused. What are you talking about? I have no clue what you're speaking about. And so Lord Hanuman takes his muktar and he says, should I remind you? Should I remind you? You can't remember, then maybe I should remind you. Mother ever pass by you and hit you and say, you know what that is for? And you say, no. What that is for? Mother pass after a week and she say, don't ever do that again. I was supposed to tell you and I forget. I don't want to ever see you doing that. And you say, what are you talking about? And she say, figure it out. And after an hour you go back and you say, but what are you talking about? I still can't figure it out. She say, you take your time and remember, you'll figure it out. Holding the muktar towards Lord Ganesh starts to laugh. He thinks it's a joke. Sometimes what we think is a joke is serious, And laughing away, what will happen? Lord Hanuman becomes angry seeing the laughter of Lord Ganesh. He takes his muktar and he's about to strike Lord Ganesh. And as he lifts his muktar, what will happen? Listen, the Gatha tells us. Shiva Shankar Mahadev Shiva ji sukh ka sagar hai Shiva Shankar Shiva ji sukh ka sagar hai sukh karta dukh harta pavan paramatma Shiva Shankar Mahadev Shiva ji sukh ka sagar hai using his trunk, he wraps it around the muktar of Lord Hanuman and he pulls it to himself. And tugging it out of the hand of Lord Hanuman, he holds it. Sometimes in some depictions of Lord Ganesh, we see the muktar in the hand of Lord Ganesh. Where did he get it from? It was not given to him. He took it away. He took it away. And so it is a lesson for all of us that whether what we hold in our hand and what God gives us, we could lose it in the wink of an eye. Things unfold and we could lose everything in the wink of an eye. And so taking the muktar, he holds it. But news reaches to the ears of Lord Shiva that there is a fight happening between Lord Hanuman, who is a manifestation, and Lord Ganesh, who is his son. He must now intervene, and he needs to choose what he will do to intervene. How will he intervene? Because Lord Hanuman is directly from him, and Lord Ganesh is directly from him. Then what will he do? Both of them, as Lord Ganesh grabs hold of the muktar, what will happen? Lord Shiva, he does the only logical thing that he thinks that he should do. Sukh karta, dukh harta, pavan paramatmai, Shiva Shankar Mahadev, Shiva ji sukh ka sagar hai, जब उनके काकर भगवान शंकर के पूछने, उन्होंने कालन बिरा का करने उसके का देवी सुरेश्वरी भगवती अंबिका माताए नमः. Lord Shiva turns to Mother Parvati and he says, Devi, this is a job for you, not for me. The husband sometimes, though he is the discipline, the one who does all the disciplining, he turns to the wife sometimes and he says, you deal with that. You sort that out. You manage that. And if you can't, well then I'll intervene. Lord Shiva turns to the Devi and he says, you go. I'm not going to go. You go. I can't choose sides and I don't want them to be upset with me. You go. Ever send somebody else to sort out your thing because you're afraid? You're afraid? Trinidadians know what I'm talking about real good. I don't know about in the other parts of the world. But we know how to put everybody in the middle of our battles and we know how to do that. We know how to drag people into our trouble. Lord Shiva says, Devi, you go. And so the Devi appears. As she appears, Lord Hanuman becomes calm. And Lord Ganesh becomes calm. And they stop their fighting. Such is the respect that the Devi commands. How much respect do we have for that lady that is called Mata? How much respect do we have for her? Only when you become a parent, only when you become an adult, you recognize that my mother's intention wasn't bad enough. She really knew what she was saying. Had I listened and had I followed what she was saying to me, then maybe life would have been different. And so as she stands there, Lord Hanuman and Lord Ganesh standing calm and put as though they weren't fighting. Lord Hanuman bows to the feet of the Devi. Mata Parvati is standing there. Lord Ganesh and Lord Hanuman, they bow to her. And what do they sing to her? Both of them, they begin to sing her praises. What do they sing to her? Darshan ho maa tere, sabki abhilasha hai, man mera ho tum sabke. Oh maa, they bow to the feet of the Devi. There are children who wish that they could have the opportunity to be in the company of their mother. Do you know? There are children who wish that they could just have that opportunity to say to their mother that, I love you. But because of situations and circumstances, and it might be impossible. Having the opportunity to talk to your mother on the phone and having the opportunity to talk to your mother in real is too different. There is no comparison. And so, it becomes very emotional sometimes because your mother is the person whom you can confide in. She's the person who you could depend on. She's the person who you could expect some form of comfort from, whether you're right or wrong, whether what the situation is, whether how right you are, whether how wrong you are. Just knowing that she could put her hands around you and say everything will be okay, it makes the whole difference. Tonight there are many mothers listening to us who are lying on their beds and who feel as though nobody in the world loves them, who feels as though not even the husbands they are married to loves them. Tonight, out of this living room at home, we're saying to you that we love you. Tonight, out of this living room at home, we're saying that Lord Ganesh loves you. Tonight, out of this living room at home, we're saying to you that we're sitting in the living room. Once you are living, always know that there is a being that loves you. He's called Bhagwan, he's called God. And when man shuts his door and shuts you out and thinks that he's causing hurt to you, God will never cause hurt to you. Maybe your children never said to you that they love you. Maybe your children never showed you care and affection. Maybe your husband treats you with scorn and disrespect. Maybe you are living with a mother-in-law who just does not treat you the way you think that you should be treated. Love her anyway. Treat her good anyway. Respect her anyway. What goes around comes around. In time to come, you have already secured and earned respect, because this is what you have thrown out into the universe. Lord Hanuman and Lord Ganesh bowing to the feet of Mother Parvati, showing humility. If we cannot be humble towards our own mother and towards our own father, then who will we be humble to? If we can't show love and affection to our own mother and our own father, then who will we show affection to? Tonight, whatever your situation may be, mothers, just as Lord Hanuman and Lord Ganesh bows, tonight I and we bow to you. Dharma sits in your hand. You are the upholder of Dharma. You are the protector of Dharma. We remember you tonight in our prayer. संसारी तो माया है, कभी डूब कभी छाया है, एक दिन उसे जाना है, जो भी यहाँ आया है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, though they were fighting and though she went there to discipline them, she lifts her hand to bless them. A mother's heart is designed in such a way that she quarrels with you now and the next minute she's normal, because her heart is designed like that. She's made like that. There is some mechanism inside of her that doesn't permit her to remain vexed, especially with the children. Husband might be a different story, but especially with the children, she'll boof you up now and then 5 minutes after she's hugging you and kissing you and saying, well, you know, the reason why, and she's justifying, because she doesn't want the children to be upset and she doesn't want the children to feel hurt and she doesn't want the children. That's how she's designed. And so Mother Parvati lifts her hand and she begins to bless the children. She says, why are both of you fighting? Don't you know? Both of you possess the very same strength and none of you will win each other. None of you could win each other. Both of you, you have the same strength, you possess the same mind, the same power, and you will never be able to destroy each other. So then why fight? How powerful are you? You see that thing called your mind? The mind makes you strong, or that mind makes you weak. Anything your mind tells you could accomplish, you could acquire, you could do, you'll be able to do it. The mind says to you that the heaviest thing is life, and you lift it up and you didn't even know you lift it up. But the mind says to you, it's heavy, it's heavy, it's heavy, don't try. And you're not trying, then how will you expect to know what the result will be? Today I had a conversation with my brother. And in that conversation I said to him, as a child I always thought that in this lifetime certain things were meant for certain people. And there are things that were meant to be out of the reach of ordinary people like me and like you. But I've come to the realization that nothing is impossible. I've come to the realization that anything you set your mind out to acquire and to accomplish and to achieve, you'll be able to do that. But you must have the element of positivity first. You must have that positive energy to throw out into the universe, so that when the result comes back like a boomerang, it comes positive, bringing the fruit that you desired with it. And he said to me, he said, well, you know, you always say all kind of thing. I said, well, I'm not saying. There's a difference with telling and saying. I'm telling you. that thing that you think is impossible is very possible. All you have to do is change your attitude. Tonight, that is not only a lesson for him or for me, that is a lesson for all of us. If we could only change the way we think and the way we speak and the way we react, then life will be smooth sailing, you know. But everything is the mind saying, you can't, you can't. Well, tonight I want to tell you, you could. You could, you will, and you should. Mother Parvati says, Ganesh, you have the head of the elephant, and Hanuman, you have the disposition of the monkey. They both with the compliments of Lord Shiva. They both with the compliments of Lord Shiva. He bestowed that Varadan on you. Though you are looking different, your power is the same, your might is the same. She looks at them and she says, both of you, you have one thing in common. One thing in common. Well, in the day that we live in, it seems to be a curse. This one thing that they have in common. They're both brahmacharis, they're not married.